All right. Welcome back to Eyes Open Media. We are back at it, man. It's been a long time since I've talked about Iraq, man, or done a video on Iraq. I know I've talked about Iraq a little bit on the main channel in some of the videos, but man, to do an actual video that starts off with an Iraq article, it's been a long time, man. But this is Eyes Open Media. This is not the main channel, so you know what I mean. So, and this Eyes Open Media, we don't have comments open. There's the rating buttons are not open, so I can talk freely on here. Of course, I don't cuss, so that's good, you know, and it's more easier. And then what's gonna happen is if this thing drags out into the next year, Iraq will return on the main channel, but it will be inside the video. So it will be like Zimbabwe this, the Japan this, Iraq this. It'll be it'll just be inserted in the videos and maybe in the titles as well if it's big enough to be there. Okay, but here on this channel, it will be actually Iraq videos. Okay, so the main channel, Iraq will be inside of videos. Okay, just like my videos are now. You know what I mean? One day might be Iraq this and Vietnam that and Zimbabwe this, right? It'll be like 3 headlines in one. But this channel will be just Iraq, okay? And if maybe there might be something else that's important, I'll bring it. But most of the time it will just be Iraq, okay? So we want to compete with that, with the main channel. That's basically what's going to happen. I hope this is over by January 1 though, or earlier. I really do hope it's over. Okay. So we all can move on from this, this country and everything else. I think losing the Republicans losing the the House was huge. I think that it was huge because here's everybody talking about breakthroughs and delays are over, and all of a sudden the Republicans lose the House, even if it was just by a small margin, and most of the time, usually all the time. I think only 2 presidents have actually kept it, right? But it was a small, they did well, but they still lost it. So you know what I mean, as of right now. So. Yeah, that might be a setback. Okay, that probably is a setback. Okay, and I got a video that I'm posting about Louise Sharp, and she was talking about how those that were talking about the red tsunami got it wrong, right? So and for me, I posted, Hank Kennedy's video of that and California turning red, and I posted the Mark Taylor's video about a red tsunami. I looked over the internet. Everybody was posting that stuff. You know what I mean? That's what we wanted to happen. Because we knew that if that did happen, we would be right there. That would have been a break in the system, because that's only happened twice, I think, in the last 21 elections, right? So that would have been a break in the system, and we would have been celebrating. You know what I mean? And that didn't happen. So. So what is that? People didn't go out. Either people didn't go out to vote, or the fraud was so huge on the voter fraud, illegals, and things like that it just absolutely went blue, regardless of if people went out there or not. Okay, so it looks like it will be a setback unless Donald Trump just rises up out of the ashes and says, nah, bruh, I ain't having this. You're out. And he did it today with Jeff Sessions, and that video is coming on the main channel, right? So he did it today. You're out. Okay, so if he continues this and he just starts kicking people out, and he start putting his foot down because he knows what's coming by January 3rd, and he can make his move now. This is the pause. Okay, this is the pause. We've had a lot of breaks in the system, and now we're in that pause. Okay, where Donald Trump needs to rise up, know who he is, and just get everybody that he believes is not for him out of there immediately and bring the people that he knows are in for him in, and also investigate all these people who won, investigate the elections, investigate everything, and start putting out complete evidence on these wicked people that are in the politicians or that are about to come into the Congress, and make sure they don't sit in those seats. Okay. This is the time. This is the time between now and January 3rd where Donald Trump has supreme power to do that before the Democrats take over the House. Okay, this is his time. This is his window to get it done. Okay, it's also the window to revalue that currency right now, because when the House comes in, when the Democrats come into the House, they're going to fight it tooth and nail. So this is his window. This is his window between now and January 3rd. This is Donald Trump's window to get everything done that we were looking for and asking for. This is his window. This is his time. Okay, so let's see what happens. Okay, let's see if the earthquake, the tsunami, the red tsunami, whatever it is, happens between now and January 3rd. And let's see what happens with Donald Trump. You know, I'm not a Republican and I'm not a Democrat. I'm not an independent. I just want our money. I just want our wealth transfer so we can bless people. We can work for the kingdom of God, and we can also live our lives and move on. Okay. Let's begin here. Abdul Mahdi comments about Article 140 and the budget of Kurdistan. Can you believe that I left and I come back and we're still talking about Article 140? You cannot make this up, man. I mean, I haven't done a video in 11 months on Iraq, and we're still talking about Article 140. And I left. We were talking about Article 140. I'm back 11 months later, and they're still talking about Article 140. That tells you that they don't want to do Article 140, right? They don't want to do Article 140. They don't want to do anything. They want to stay corrupted and delay everything and pretend that they're talking about these things, right? So because they are a cabal, the cabal is controlling them. They are cabal puppets. Okay, so. And it says in the budget of the Kurdistan. So I don't really care about the budget. I've talked about the budget for years and years and years and years. And at some point we need to realize that who cares about the budget? You know, who cares about the budget? It's all about them releasing the small notes, the lower notes, and the small notes, and adding purchasing power. The budget means nothing. Everything else means nothing to us. Okay. And Benny said that Foot Ford was talking about that. When this thing is about to happen, Israel would be dropping bombs on Iran. Okay, so maybe so. If that's the case, we need to look out for that. So I'm gonna be watching that closely, because I don't know. Okay, but that's what he said. Yeah, I don't know anything about Foot Ford. Okay, I haven't watched his videos or anything, so I don't know much about the document. I stay to myself. You know what I mean? So let's read this real quick here. It says the Prime Minister Abadi. I said Abadi. God, I gotta get that. I gotta remove Abadi, because Abadi did release the notes, and he started the process of the new notes and stuff, but he did not raise the value. Why? He did not take advantage of while he was there. 4 years, his job was to get in there, get the economic stuff together, and raise that value. And he did not, even under Donald Trump. This man did not even raise the value. Can you believe that? Can you believe Trump, 2 years under President Trump, and this man still didn't raise the value? And that's how corrupt these people are, man. I swear. I just swear how corrupt these people are. Okay. And another thing is that why didn't Donald Trump come to Iraq? Because Obama couldn't come, because they banned him from coming, okay, to Iraq. But Donald Trump could have came. Okay, he sent everybody else. But if Donald Trump had come to Iraq, okay, they would have raised that value. I swear, okay. So Donald Trump, if you're listening, you need to go to Iraq. Because guess what that is? That's breaking the system, buddy. Okay, that is breaking the system. Because Obama didn't go to Iraq. Okay, They banned that dude from coming to Iraq. But Donald Trump, you sent everybody else but yourself to Iraq. Okay, so you can't have these secret meetings with Abadi and Putin and stuff. Man, get your butt to Iraq. Announce that you're there and you ain't playing around, and they better raise that freaking value. I mean, how hard is it? You know, like, this is not hard. Get in there and you know, and show yourself approved, man. Show that you ain't playing around. Actually go to Iraq, Donald Trump, and maybe he will with during this timeline of November to January 3rd. If you refuse to raise the value, guess what we're going to do? I'm going to show up, and I'm going to fire you, Alak, out of the CBI governor position, and I'm going to put somebody else in with my authority, with my iron fist, and we're going to put somebody else in. I'm just going to reactivate Dr. Shabibi for 6 months and let him do it, and then he'll train somebody else. Like, this is what needs to happen. I shouldn't have to sit here and talk about this, and these people know that should happen. Donald Trump knows that he could do that. He's been sending everybody else to Iraq to sit down and have worthless meetings. I mean, it's probably been over 100,000 meetings since we've been in this investment in the last 3 years. I mean, just 100,000 meetings and nothing goes on. Nothing happens. If Donald Trump, look, Abadi came to him, and, you know, Abdul Mahdi's going to come to Washington at some point. Why doesn't Donald Trump go to Iraq and make himself known? And make him and say, you're going to do this while I'm here. How about that? You know what I mean? And we're going to celebrate together while I'm here. Right? You don't think they wouldn't do it? Are you crazy? Okay. All the dirt that Donald Trump has on them, on everybody in the government of Iraq. Come on, guys and girls. Okay. So Donald Trump, if you're listening or somebody sends Donald Trump this video, you need to go to Iraq. That's the whole key. Break that system of American presidents not going to Iraq. Break that system. Go to Iraq. Step on the land of Iraq and demand them to release the value and to release the notes. How about that? Because you have dirt on everybody. So why not? They're all corrupt in the government. You tell them, hey, if you don't do it, my military's gonna come in and arrest you guys right now, and we're gonna put all the news out on your media about what you guys have done. Okay, it's that simple, and he hasn't done it. So hopefully, me saying it now allows him to do it. Sometimes that has to happen. I don't know why. Okay, so says we will discuss the issues of Article 140 in the government of the Kurdistan region, asserting I cannot make the final decision. He added that the House of Representatives and the Council of Ministers and the concerned parties will discuss the subject, noting that the committee formed to discuss the issue of the budget will discuss this issue with the House of Representatives. Okay. It said it is the duty of all to reach an agreement and financial and legal justification for a fairness of all providence and all the people of Iraq. Now remember, he was the oil minister, so he should know everything about the oil and gas law, Article 140. He should know all about it because he was the oil minister and he stepped down. And so there was a reason why he stepped down last year. I remember now, I'm like, this man stepped down from being the oil minister. So somebody told him to step down, okay, last year and prepare him. And while that time where he had stepped down, they probably were in the background preparing him to be the prime minister. You see how that works? Now I can go back in my mind and say, okay, he stepped down last summer from the oil minister, and that whole year time, he was preparing to be the prime minister. See, it's all a show. It's all a game. It's all a show because they knew who the new prime minister was going to be already. It was going to be him. He stepped down as oil minister, and behind the scenes in the cabal, in the secret society, they were prepping him and teaching him the ways of becoming the prime minister. I guarantee it. I guarantee it, because it makes sense now why he stepped down as the oil minister, because at that time, people didn't know why he had stepped down. Now we know, because he's now the prime minister, okay? So if he was still the oil minister, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't have been he wouldn't be the prime minister. Okay, so that's how it works. So, okay, so let's go on to another article here, and it says the deputies, the 8 vacant ministers, will be decided next week. Okay, and when they say next week, that means this week. A lot of you guys already know that. Many of you guys already know that. Unless they say like the week after, though, next week after is usually next week. Okay. But anyways, it says Parliament on Wednesday next week will see the solution of the remaining 8 ministers from the cabinet of the prime minister. So he still has 8 ministers left to vote. He voted in 14 like 3 weeks ago, and now he needs 8 more. What if he does it on 11/11/11? That would be interesting, right? Putin and Trump might meet on 11/11/11 as well. Okay, I'm gonna do a video on that tomorrow on the main channel. But yeah, so eight ministers left to go, and for his cabin, and we'll see how it goes. Okay. I'm not sure how long that's going to take. It says Iraq announces important decisions in the Kuwait archives. Okay. So, not sure what the important decisions were. It looks like they were just handshaking and stuff. And after the exchange of words and welcome, the undersecretary stressed the depth of brotherly relationships between the two brotherly countries, noting that Iraq is keen to develop and upgrade in all areas of cooperation in various aspects, especially political and economic and social, and I said social, and resolve all outstanding issues between the two countries. Al-Zamanan expresses thanks and satisfaction with the efforts made by the Iraqi side in handing over the archives of Kuwait, which contribute to solving the outstanding problems between the two countries, stressing the deep brotherly relationship between the two countries in cooperation in various fields and serves the interests of the two brotherly countries. Okay. So not much there. And they're still paying these guys too. They're still paying Kuwait, man. It's crazy, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay, so let's just go down the list of things that are going on. I'm just going to read the headlines here. Deputy tomorrow's session includes the formation of the Finance Committee and to study and amend the budget. Okay. Moving on. Next is Tamimi. Yeah, she's still in Parliament. Man, how long is she going to be in Parliament? She's been there forever. Budget sent to Parliament, deaf. Okay, I guess no one cares. Okay, no one. I guess that means that the budget was sent to Parliament and deaf was in the room. Basically, silence. No one cared. Okay, there is agreement on the formation of the committee to complete it. Okay, yeah. Who cares about the budget? Budget means nothing to me anymore. I just want the release of the lower notes. Release the lower notes now. What do we have right now? Let's stop real quick. We have the release of the 1,000. They released the 1,000, the 250, and the 500. But only the 1,000 is in the banks. The 250 and the 500 are not in the banks yet. Okay? So we need to see that. We were supposed to see that they told us. Well, I'm not going to say they told us because you guys don't know, but they said they were supposed to release it either the last week of October or the first week of November, and we still ain't seen the 500s or the 250s, man. And this is the banks and the market people, the market exchangers, okay, the exchangers to the banks said that they were supposed the 250 and the 500 would be in the banks on either the last week of October or the first week of November. And we haven't seen them yet. So they've already released the 1,000s. Okay, Abadi released the process before he left. I thank him for that. But he should have demanded the rate to be released. Now you see that they're all over the governor's butt because he put his name on the currency. Okay, so he signed his name on the currency, and they're freaking out. They might want to thinking about punishing him or removing him. Okay, so they're talking about a lock here, right? So If I was a lock, I'd be like, man, screw y'all. I'm lifting the value now. My name's on it, and I want it to have purchasing power. I don't want you to remove me and then create new notes with my name not on there, and those notes become worthless. If I'm a lock, I'm raising the value. I'm breaking the system, raising the value, because they might release him. They might get rid of him because of what he did. So that's just me. But if they're following Turkmenistan, economic reforms, then they're gonna do it. Then which they are. Then they'll probably just wait until January 1. If they're going to, if there's a surprise break in the system and God wants to surprise everybody, then it will happen whenever God wants it to happen. Okay, so it is what it is. But so far, they're following Turkmenistan's economic reforms. Okay, and Turkmenistan, I think they did it January 1. Okay, so we'll see. I hope we don't have to wait that long. Parliament session tomorrow will be free of voting on the rest of the government cabinet. Okay, so they're not going to vote tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow's what, Thursday? Yeah, they're not going to vote tomorrow. Okay, whatever. Tomorrow they're not going to have the voting on the agenda tomorrow. It says Alak meets with the Office of Financial Supervision and the Iraqi Association of Accountants to discuss the performance of auditors. Okay. The launch of Baghdad International Fair on Saturday. Man, this is like the 9th international fair I've seen for Baghdad. And every time this international fair comes out, people are saying, oh my God, the rate has to change on the international fair. Right? Could it? Yes, it could, but that doesn't mean every year you have to say the same thing. I mean, my God, when are you going to give it up? International fair has been going on for a while now, and yeah, it is what it is. Trump's envoy, it says Iraq is exempt from our sanctions on Iranian oil exports. Okay, so they came down and said that Trump says that Iraq is exempt. Okay, so Iraq doesn't have to follow the sanctions. Now, what did I tell people on my main channel? Iran will survive the sanctions, and we can see why. They're giving waivers to several countries to continue to do oil with Iran, and they're also now exempting Iraq from the sanctions now when they came down there with the oil because they felt sorry. Okay, okay. You can't just say something and then, go see people and be like, and you know that it's going to hurt their country and just look at them, right? You be like, man, all right, you can still do your oil, man. I know it's going to hurt your country. It's going to hurt you financially, and you're trying to break the system. You're trying to come up, and you being under sanctions to help Iran is going to hurt you, right? So, yeah, so there it is. That's the news, guys and girls, here on Eyes Open Media. And just wanted to show you guys the headlines. We'll be doing this more where I just go through the headlines of the day. And, and we talk about whatever we talk about. So that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed the first video back. I'm not sure when the last time I did a video for Eyes Open Media. I'm pretty sure it was the last day. I think I did one for this channel and my main channel. Or it had to be maybe either it wasn't the last day. It was probably the second to last day or third to last day. But it's been a long time. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed that. And a lot of times when I do the articles, I think I'm going to be 10 minutes, but it ends up being 25 minutes because I'm talking about all these other things that relate to Iraq, and it's fun to talk about it. And it's just fun to just, go over so many things that have, that have happened during this journey that we've all been in called the Iraqi dinar. So anyways, that's it. Talk to you guys later. Eyes open. Bye.